Family, welcome back to my channel. We are here. We made it. We survived season 3 of Put a Ring on It. We are down to episode 11, the final episode. And let me tell you something, fam. It's been a doozy. We have Dr. Nicole sitting down with the couples. We already know how Shorty and Kenneth ended last episode. Totally bad, outrageous situation. She was pissed. She's upset that, he's up there saying things, I guess, a little twisted. She's like, you called me bees and hoes. You think that's gonna, work? No, it's not. So basically, they're done. They left. Dr. Nicole was totally like disappointed, I'm sure. But we wish all the best to them. They both need to get it together separately. Now, Dr. Nicole gets into Shay and Fonzo, how everything went on their date. And basically, she said they learned a lot. They had a beautiful date. Everything went lovely. They learned a lot about their relationship. Dr. Nicole was very impressed with Shay and what she relayed to her about how at the end of the day, regardless of what happens with her and Alfonso, she can't force him to do anything because his family may feel the way they feel about her for 10, 20 years. And even Shar looked over and was proud at the growth that Shay had between the two of them. Alfonso applauded because I think a lot of this episode, even if they don't get it together for the long haul, it really did a lot for Shay's growth and development. So I hope she sticks to that. Now, Shar went on to say how her date with Chris went. Of course, she broke out into tears because Otis never listens. He never learns. She talked about how she feels that even though they only had 3 dates, she feels that he saw her. He actually thinks that she's a dope girl. And this is something that she doesn't get from Otis. But he had to put a twist on it and made her feel bad instead of listening to what she had to say. And Dr. Nicole says you always filter stuff in a different way. Twist it and make a different turn instead of listening what your woman has to say. I don't know if Otis will ever learn to listen to Shar and see her and appreciate who she is. But if he hasn't done it yet by the end of this episode, sis, I think you need to run for the hills. This man has a lot of development to do, and so do you. Now, our girl Shay is visited by Dr. Nicole to talk about the experience, and she feels really hopeful. She said everything is great. She likes how far they have come between the two of them. She likes the growth. Of course, she appreciates what she's learned from the process and hope that it will continue on the path with her and Fonzo from where they've ended up today. I really don't know, Shay. I think you really need to wait before you have him put a ring on it so you can see, outside of this process, if he's really gonna do what he said he'd do and stick by it. So he Fonzo met with Shay's dad. Dad said he was never really for them. I guess he saw the drama and the pain that his daughter went through and what she shared with him. But being that Fonzo told him he's learned a lot in this process, he's grown, Dad is now all for it. Dad, I think you need to hold the reins a little bit longer and wait to see if Fonzo really does show improve. Now, here is old Otis trying to make like everything's cool in the process. Everything's fine when Dr. Nicole asked him, we're good. And she's looking at him like, wait a minute. That's not what Charlana said. Otis always try to put up this front and this image. And Char is the same way. They want to look like this cool professional couple that have it all together, but breaking down on the inside and not going, not really being real with themselves and their relationship. No, everything is not fine. Even to this point, he's still not seeing her. He's still not listening to her. And he's still not digesting the advice that Dr. Nicole is giving him. He was like, she told him that he, really doesn't take what he says and applies it because he always sees it in a different way. And it's Otis's way. And he basically said it's between him and Shar, and it really doesn't matter what Dr. Nicole says. He's had no growth whatsoever during this process. And, all I could do is basically pray for Shar going forward, because we know how this ended up. He sat down, beautiful setting, and gave her a bunch of BS as far as I'm concerned. You really did not digest and grow at all this season. He gave her a bunch of yana yana wah 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 wah. That's exactly what I heard, the Charlie Brown noise. And Shar is listening to him, and on her face, and type in the comments if you saw this, she still looks like she doesn't believe him. Like this is something that she's heard time and time again before. But because of the show and because of Charlana, of course she wants to put up that image and wants to continue to believe Otis and what he has to say, and believe that what he's saying to her in this present moment, even though he just had you crying a second ago, what he's saying is real and valid. So of course he got down on his knees, proposed, and she said yes. What else was she gonna say? He knows her. He knows how he can constantly blow smoke up her behind, and Char will eventually forgive him and go with the flow. It's Otis's world. It is Otis's world. She's just a squirrel trying to get a nut, and for some reason, she wants to believe that he's grown, that he's going to stick by this, and he's really, taking the tools that Dr. Nicole has and applied it. He loves her, she loves him. Okay, I want nothing but the best for these couples. I really do. And she said, regardless of what they've been through, like any other couple, they had problems, but they're not going to give up on their relationship, and they're going to stay together. This is what she wants. She wants that fairy tale ride off into the sunset. And let me tell you something, Shar, a baby or marriage is not going to change it when there's problems. So please think about what you're going to do moving forward, but I wish all the best for you. Now, here we go with Fonzo and Shar. They're taking this, jet set, living the fabulous life. He pulled no stops. Otis took our girl Shay up in a helicopter ride, said the world is yours, sky's the limit, and that's what he took up in the sky, helicopter ride. I had her all dressed up, looking fabulous as she always does. They are a gorgeous couple. I really wish that they would work out. I think that Otis, out of all the couples, did apply some things that are making some steps, but I think this is just the tip of the iceberg. He laid it out at the helicopter spot, the rose petals, the king and queen chairs and the tables. She was absolutely happy with the words he was saying. He said everything she would love to hear about how she means the world to him. He basically doesn't want, individual families. He wants to bring their families together as one family. He wants her to grow. He wants, everything to work out with him and the baby's mother and his mom, and really just, trying to tell her how much he loves her and how much she means to him. So, at the ring shop last week, this week, he really went all out with this stone. It's a light up box. That bad boy probably about $5 to $10 million. I mean, the stone is huge. She loved it. She was excited. She told him, of course, she'd marry him. This is, she wanted nothing else. Everything he said to her, she's been waiting to hear. And the process over the past few weeks, it would make you lead to believe that, Fonzo is really making it, and he's really sincere. And I think he is, but he has a lot to clean up. I think he has a lot, as you're going to see next week, yet to reveal, that's going to put a little monkey wrench in, the process. So this is going to take a minute. I mean, this is just the beginning of healing with all the couples. That's why I don't think that they should have jumped up to say yes so quick. Let these men prove a little more before you go out there and drag this mess into a marriage. Then it's going to be a little bit harder, especially if you get children involved. It's going to be harder to leave, and you're going to sit there and continue to hurt and go through even more. So, as I said to Otis and Shar, even though, I'm not feeling that, Otis and Shay and Fonzo, I hope for them the best. I did see some growth from both of them, but time will prove all. I pray for nothing but the best for each of them. Get yourselves together inside, and then the outside and your hearts will all work out and be healed. Until next Now, comment down below. Let me know what you think about the couples. Do you think they will make it going forward? We see it's going to be crazy at the reunion. Give me some feedback and definitely share. Let's continue to discuss how you think this is going to work out. Do you think women made the right decision in saying yes to these men? I don't know. But we'll see, because it's going to be some crazy things revealed next week. Until then, definitely like and subscribe, and see you next week.